welcome to another episode of The Hot Seat. I'm your host, Marie Wiese, and today my very special guest is Giuseppe Ianni. He is the Vice President, Community Director Activation at good friends of ours, Community Summit, DCI. We've known them for a long time. If anyone in the channel has gone to a summit event, which is kind of the event of the year to go to. You know the summit people. You've probably seen Giuseppe. He's new as of, I think, the beginning of this year. Is that correct, Giuseppe? You just started
Yes.
with DCI?
Yep, November of last year, just after Summit actually wrapped.
Here's why I'm so excited to have you on the show today. So I have been a big supporter of the Community Summit and NDCI for a long time. And I've been involved as a speaker. I've helped promote events. And what I love about working with your organization is that you're always forward thinking. You're always forward looking to what does the community need? And when I say community, the Hot Seat is a podcast designed specifically for Microsoft partners to talk about tough questions that are facing them as businesses. So for our audience, we're not just going to ask some tough questions today, but sometimes we like to break some news. Sometimes we like to talk about what's new and happening. And I know Giuseppe can't go into a whole bunch of details, but on that theme of always being proactive of where is the community going? What do they need next? I know you've got some really cool things, but take a minute and talk about what your main objective is with the partner in the ISV community. I know you've got these three very important tenets that you try to promote. Tell us about that, and can you give us a sneak peek into what you're doing?
Yeah, well, first I'll appreciate the introduction here and the opportunity to speak to the community. It's obviously what I thrive on and why I think I came into the organization is to continue to give back to the community. But Dynamic Communities is focused on bringing together people in the BizApps community holistically. If you look at our portfolio of events that we stand up each and every year, it's really focused around four different types of people, the creators from Microsoft, the engineers, who really are building these applications that everybody in this community is selling. You have the sellers in the community, or probably listening to this podcast today, the ISVs, the SIs, that are out here trying to understand the technology that's available and make sure they can deliver it out to the wide range of different industries out here that need applications. You have buyers who are interested in making decisions that are coming to our events to make informed buying decisions and to meet with the sellers of the community and be reassured that this is the right fit and it's going to help us scale our organization. And then it's just the users in the community who are out here looking to get better at the system that they have invested in, and find other ways to fill gaps or white space in the community and be challenged by the sellers that they're working with on a day-to-day basis. So those four people are all brought together. And as we look at standing up an event like Community Summit North America, a lot of people, look at events like this and they look at them as trade shows. Like they come, they look at technology, they come, they go, they leave. We're very much in the sense, to your point, of trying to lead the way and build vision. And we've seen this shift in how people are interacting with us, especially in a world of AI, where now people are really turning more than ever to technology and typing and coding and looking at a screen, where you see this face-to-face renaissance now coming to the industry, where people want to talk to each other, they want to interact. And events like Community Summit North America, to your point, are so unique because they allow the opportunity for partners, SIs, ISVs to come out and acquire new business. They can create unique engagements for customers who are there. They can socialize their existing customers with their potential late stage buyers to create a really unique environment where they're not only building a comfort level, but they're help developing their brand, and inevitably using the system or the event as a cornerstone for their customer success throughout the year that's running, right? Because many partners, again, aren't necessarily getting together multiple times a year with their customers. And those that can use Community Summit, to your point, as that cornerstone, where I think really take advantage of their investment in the event overall, as opposed to just showing up and trying to find new business.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we've talked about those three really important words: acquire, engage, succeed. And oftentimes we use high profile events as a way to get attention, to be sort of, if I could use some marketing speak, at the top of the funnel. But what I think people aren't recognizing is the value that Summit can bring to a partner in that engage category. The idea that you could bring a customer or prospect with you to Summit, they could get some unbelievable knowledge and learning. They could connect and network with some really interesting people, maybe even one of their competitors, and sit in on a session and ask them, how are you fixing this problem within your business? And I think as we see travel and entertainment costs continue to rise in a post-pandemic world, the idea that we could get all this value and maybe create, an intimate gathering within a bigger event is really optimal, I think, as a partner. And I know I have clients who, yes, are still excited about the traditional format of a trade show floor and being able to talk to people and interact. But for small and medium-sized partners who don't necessarily get the profile or the value that they need to out of, doing a booth, excuse me, I think that the idea of being able to come and be part of this in a way that is bringing their customers, sharing their knowledge, learning more from the community in general is a very, very powerful thing. And I often get frustrated with other marketers who see, well, this is what we've always done and we always want to keep doing it. Well, no, I don't think you can just keep doing what you've always done. I think the path forward is new and disruptive, and it has to look different. So I really, really respect and acknowledge that, excuse me, you continue to do really interesting things. And so I know this is a precursor to a bigger change that might be coming out. And I know you can't say a lot about it, but can you just hint at some of the changes you might be making in the next 12 months?
Yeah, I think as we look at again this event and what the community wants, if we look at what users want who are coming or buyers want what they're coming, it's to open one more opportunity up for our partners and sponsors of the event in the community as a way to create engagement. We've opened up several new engagements or activations on the show floor this year, things that are a little bit more fun in nature, but we recognize that there always can be a healthy mix of work and play. And in this case, you're coming to an event, you are inundated with so much learning. I mean, 600 plus sessions, as you noted, Marie, right? There's just a lot you can absorb. There's a lot of networking. Most people who leave don't have a voice. I think mine right now is suffering from how much I've been talking about Summit in the past month with partners across the industry. Right. But everybody's getting ready for this, and you then hit and it lands, and there's a lot going on. So we want to open up more engagements for partners to participate with users, and we also want to make this memorable for users, right? And that's where, as we look at the opportunity for our sponsors to share a VIP code with customers, offering them that unique experience at an event like Community Summit, where you can come and you can walk through the trade show floor, you can experience the expo, you can come early for Academy Days and listen to people like yourself speak and educate people at a deeper level for a full day, or you can just jump in for an hour here and there learning about different areas, or attend the Tech Medic booths too, where if you have a really unique problem, it can be solved there too. All those, I think, are different ways to get engagement out of the community. But in the end, I think it takes our partners in the community to stand up these unique engagements, right? And that's why, you noted at the start, I focus on activations in particular with the community. It's finding ways to really create something more unique. Maybe it's small, right? Maybe it's even persona based. I have some partners I've worked with on Sunday prior to Community Summit that are standing up just almost like a persona based day for clients. And we're inviting those users to be part of a very intimate type day that focuses on just their needs. And I think the evolution of people, how we're learning, what we're expecting is a higher level of personalization like we see on the websites of the world. When we all log into our Amazon or whatever other account we're shopping on, they're wanting the same thing out of events. And that's what we're trying to bring back to them. Or to your point, I was on with a really large partner in the community just yesterday, and just kind of pounded my head against the table because they're approaching it like they were 10 years ago, or when I started 20 years ago, not much differently. And I think we have to shift our mindsets a little bit. We are in the AI world right now. Things are shifting very quickly. Keep in mind that our customers are also expecting a different experience. And
And I
Yeah.
think that's really interesting because I remember when your fearless leader, John Seifert, took over the organization at a really, really difficult time. You know, he stepped in right when the pandemic hit and face-to-face events were shutting down, and it was a difficult time to see what the future was going to look like with respect to events. And I really respect the fact that you came back out and with an even stronger commitment to the community and helping people get together. But I know at the time he had this vision of, let's just call it extending the community, that we just didn't have to wait from one year to the next of, well, you missed Summit in October, so that's it. You'll have to wait till next year and participate again. I know the lead up to October is really big for our organization, and I know it's really big for a lot of partners who use this, but I know your vision of wanting to create that platform or that opportunity for people to stay connected throughout the year. I know you've done a great job with community roadshows. I know lots of partners who get involved with those because they tend to be smaller events that are geographically focused that allow them to meet specific people in the community. Are you able to share anything about where you might be going with that whole idea of the platform?
Yeah, I think we're definitely going to introduce some new things that we've been working on. And again, it's definitely focused, I would say, back to your point earlier on learning, right? And I think that's what we're in the business of doing. We're in the business of bringing people together, helping them learn, whether it's users in the community, whether it's partners in the community. As you look at what we just did with BizApps or AI Business Solutions Partner Executive Summit, as we're now calling it, right? We're definitely in the business of bringing people together, and I think we're right now working on a new way to get engagement throughout the calendar year that will allow our partners in the community to stand up engagements, right? And help support them in that initiative and make it easy to get the messaging out there. And it's not just in North America, but it is across the world, right? To continue to expand what we're doing. It's obviously a lot of effort to stand up something like Community Summit. It even takes some coordination to stand up a roadshow for a day and procure an agenda. But in the case that you noted and I highlighted, I think people want things that are more personalized. And we have such a rich and diverse community of partners and SIs and ISVs out there that have rich industry information. And I think if we can take some structural foundation on our end that we put together, pull together a community and say, hey guys, here's the conduit, here's a platform that's going to allow you to have a much larger voice and bring the community together. I think that is something that could be really special. And again, that's something that could also help evolve the way everybody who's listening to this in the partner community is selling, right? It's not just show up in an event and have a funnel that we work for the next 3 or 6 months. Right now, we're having constant touch points throughout the calendar year. And it's something that we can play a potential conduit in the background to help facilitate that acquisition, that engagement, and that success all year long. So I'm really excited to announce it and talk more about it at Community Summit. Probably get some messaging before Community Summit on this topic in particular, but excited either way.
Well, you know what I really love, and I've been involved in lots of different events and things across the community, and in particular when I've gotten involved with organizations doing some great work in AI, particularly responsible AI, and they've used some tools that Microsoft has offered the community around this, and it's a little tricky to use. It's not straightforward. It's not easy. What I love about your organization is it's the go-to place. I know that when I go, I'm going to find what I'm looking for. I'm going to see what my options are. And if you're working to expand that and bring more ways for people to engage throughout the year, I think that's music to my ears, because we oftentimes don't know where to go to promote an event, as an example, or where to figure out how to bring a group of experts together. Maybe we want to do a roundtable with 30 CTOs who can help us facilitate that in the city of the city of New York or something like that. And in the past, there hasn't been a lot of places and resources for people to go do things like that. And I think this is a very talkative community, a very interactive community, a community that recognizes the importance of technology, but also recognizes that it's nice to get together and meet people and do that. And I think it's become harder and harder, for example, to book Microsoft offices if you want to go throw an event. And it's, there's not a lot of great things. So if you're finding ways to connect people in new and different ways, I think that's what the future needs to look like. And I salute you for doing it.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a heavy lift. I think it's a gap or a hole in the community that we recognize needs to be filled, and I think it's part of our ethos as an organization on our continued efforts to bring the community together, to bring those 4 points of light that I kind of talked about earlier with the creators, the sellers, the buyers, and the users, right? I think everybody is going to benefit from this in the end. And it is going to open up that opportunity, like you said, to meet on a more regular basis and also just get better at what we're doing. I want our partners to be stronger in the community. I want their win rates to be higher, and I want their customers to be more well educated on their systems. So in the end, they're staying longer and they're investing, back all those profits into technology as well for partners to have even more projects to work on and deliver.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. It is always a delight to talk to you. I love it whenever we get together and we get to talk about different things that are going on. I can't wait for our summit in October. It is definitely a highlight of our year because we put a lot of time and effort into it, and we get to see a lot of customers at this event. And if you're listening and you're a Microsoft partner and you would like to take advantage of a special code we have today, coupon code, you can put in hot seat 10 and get a discount on your ticket to Summit. You can also reach out to me if you would like to, and have an introduction to Giuseppe if you'd like to bring a ton of people. There's opportunities there for you to bring a ton of people and do some bulk buying, and if that's something you're interested in. I really want to thank you. I can't wait for all the things you're going to announce in October. I think there's a lot going on. So for all our listeners today, don't touch that dial, don't touch that set. Stay here, stay tuned, because we're going to have lots of announcements going forward between now and October when we see you all at Summit. Thanks so much, Giuseppe, for being on the show.
thank you. Thanks, everybody.